Ambitions are high for one of the newest sports at Boise State. Some consider video games a hobby. Many more consider them a waste of time.
But in just 2 years, the Broncos are on the forefront of the fastest growing collegiate programs in the country.
Ryan Holmes takes us inside BSU eSports.
It's flashy and full blast and fan-friendly.
Go Alex!
It's also fast-paced and sometimes hard to follow with so many moving parts. All are good descriptions of sports at Boise State, even those that are played in padded chairs.
Be careful.
This is BSU eSports. And like basketball,
They're coming right side.
they play as a team.
Underneath, bottom.
They compete against other colleges. They have their own casters. And they have a faction of fans
He's killing people.
and family
We don't even know which one my son is, really.
that fill any empty space in the arena. So yeah, it's pretty much same scene, just different diversion.
The only difference in esports is really just the E.
That may be a bold statement, but not necessarily an overstatement. Just like other sports, game day performance is a product of practice,
Reaper one.
which they do in a second-floor classroom on campus, stocked with computers where the team's 65 players can sharpen their skills.
Pass me.
Sometimes,
Does it pass?
like it's a full-time job.
I'm playing a lot more than most people. I have about 45 hours a week.
Only 20 of those hours are spent here since, just like other varsity sports, instruction time is limited.
Reaper up top.
What hasn't been limited,
Try to call after shatter too.
the progress of the program.
It's pretty crazy how much it's grown in the past few years.
And I discovered very quickly
In 2016, Dr. Chris Haskell was doing some research on gaming.
that esports was about to explode and that we had this kind of generational opportunity to be the first.
That September, 24 student athletes showed up and showed an interest in getting a gaming team going.
You're going to school for gaming? What? How do you do that?
Senior Madison Benge,
Mercy down.
or Nerdy Bird as she's known on the screen,
-1.
was one of the originals. At that time, there were only 7 other varsity esports teams across the country. Today, there are more than 170 member schools in the National Association of Collegiate Esports. So how does Boise State fit in that field?
We're really good at some of these games.
Let's put it this way. No other Boise State program in any sport has gone from formation to domination in such a short time.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Boise State eSports broadcast.
From their first games in early 2017 to now, they've won more than 250 matches.
We have the most wins of any collegiate program right now.
The wins line up like the list of other Bronco accolades.
We've played more games. We have the biggest broadcasting program associated with our esports program. We had the first female team captain in collegiate esports.
Tries to clear it out.
Any year, we're probably the 3rd most watched program on campus.
And they're ranked top 10 in all 4 games they play.
However, it makes it so they can't get under the ball. Yeah, they just scored.
Including Rocket League.
Car soccer with rockets. That's about it.
And Overwatch, which is a bit more complicated.
Have no clue what's going on.
Darren Strickler has watched his son Garrett play 4 times before.
He's eliminating people.
And while he's still not sure what's happening in the game, he recognizes what's happening in today's collegiate landscape.
After all the years of me telling him not to play games, he's up here playing in college, so it's good.
And soon, his son could be playing games on a scholarship, just like any other athlete. Something the professor turned coach Doc Haskell sees as the next step to making going to school and getting a degree more attractive to the next generation.
To let them keep doing the thing that they're really good at for the university in the process of becoming the next version of themselves. That's collegiate athletics.
So, is it sports? Debatable. What isn't the fact that esports aren't going anywhere, and they're likely going to get more popular.
Somewhere between football and probably field hockey.
All right.
Probably closer to football.
I'm hearing something on our left. Careful.
This is esports. There's no gender involved. There's no age involved. It's how well can you play this game? How much are you willing to learn? How much are you willing to grind in this game to get better?
Alrighty.
I guess, just like any other game.
The game is never going to die. It's just going to evolve.
Brian Holmes, Idaho's News Channel 7.
Just amazing. Doc Haskell expects esports will eclipse football when it comes to collegiate participation simply because of cost. He says he still can't believe. He cannot believe that he gets to sit in living rooms and recruit kids to play video games for the Broncos.
Again, it's worth emphasizing it's a major incentive for Idaho kids to get a college degree. And with a major sponsorship deal in the works, Haskell says they plan to start offering full ride scholarships as soon as this spring. We have a link to the Boise State eSports webpage at ktvb.com. You may be asking at home, well, what do they go on to do with that? And that's kind of what I was asking during Brian's piece, and you had...
They do video game designing, web developing. They do, there's the goggles, you know, the virtual reality.
Yeah, VR.
And all of that stuff. And you think about how big of an industry that is. Having a major in that.
Yeah, and they could be a professional gamer too, e-gamer or esports.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I know is I never had that much fun in my college classes.
No.
And I never got to sit in those cool chairs and like be loud. And
No.
I want to go back to school. That's awesome.
I do too.